This is the Clockhouse on the 17th of March 1988 between 10 and 12 in the morning, the Charlton Athletic Reminiscence Project.
That's all Davis said to me. He said he could motivate. He said he could motivate.
Yeah, he said he'd make a good
manager. Really.
Good
he did
coach
try
and manager.
Dartford, didn't he?
He went to Dartford.
So I wonder he didn't get a league. He said he could motivate players.
Oh, I've got that one there.
The supplement.
Have you got that one? This is the photocopy of the programme when they met Bolton in 1923. My dad was always talking about that. If you got the lucky number,
Yeah.
then you had the ball, but you had to pay threepence for it.
Yeah, my father used to sell them tickets for that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
My dad always bought one, but never mind.
Actually, I met someone the other day who, a lady who went to some kind of indoor match, I think it was, with Charlton going way back. It was just after the war, but she won the ball, and the ball was autographed by all the players.
That's right.
And she kept it for years, and it stayed in shape. I think the bladder inside perished, but then a few years ago, I think the mayor of Greenwich was they were looking for items to raffle for needy children or something.
Yeah.
She donated it. She thought best to go to something like that than to actually sell it. But apparently, it fetched a really good price.
Gosh, yeah. Somebody else is doing it now. Years. I talked him into going that Saturday.
No.
That was the last one he saw, actually. He didn't go again, and he hadn't been for years. I talked him into coming down,
Strange if she's picked that match.
And when it got to half time, I think they were 5-1 down or something.
It was, but no, actually, there was 20 minutes into the second half, they were 5-1.
5-1 down, that's right. Amazing. And I said, oh, it's a shame you come down to this one. I said, when you don't come for years, and then, I said, never mind, perhaps they might be bad. And they scored one and brought it back to 5-2. I said, well, that's not so bad, Went a little better, and the goal kept going, and he was getting more excited. And at the end of the match, he was so exhausted. God, poor old Daddy couldn't move, We had to wait and sit down and let him recover a bit, clinging on to the reins. He said, and he never forgot that match after. He lived a good few years after that, but he never forgot it. That match, he said. You only see one like that in a lifetime.
That's right. If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, it's incredible. All down at Johnny Summers, really.
Were you there for that one, Harry?
Yeah.
Then Summers got one and made it 2-1. Then Huddersfield scored 2 more. This was all in the second half.
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, 4-1. And then it went to 5-1, that's right. After 60 minutes, it was incredible, and the match was good as gone, really, wasn't it?
That's right.
10 men.
They had a ground there.
Yeah.
Back to those cottages, the row houses there, opposite the school.
Mollins. Quite a lot of factories there.
Play down there, yeah.
Did you ever used to play, Percy?
Only in the young days, not as I got older, because I travelled about a lot. Although I've been a Charlton supporter, I once had a card for Liverpool and Everton.
Oh, you mentioned that when you...
Yeah, because I worked for a coating firm up there, see. But all the time, I always tried to go to the Charlton matches if they were playing away, sort of thing. And when I come home, which I used to come home fortnight, 3 weeks, a month perhaps, if they were at home, down I'd go, know. The missus says, you ain't home bloody long before you're there to football. She's never been a keen footballer.
I came across a photo of Tricker.
Oh, did you? Now,
Yeah.
you're the first one. Nobody ever knew Tricker.
Well, I copied a whole load this week. I'll try and get them printed up.
He was an amateur. He was a schoolmaster, I know that. And that's all I know about him. And he was a wonderful footballer.
Yeah, I've got no more information on him, just the picture of
Just
him.
a picture.
Wasn't a team lineup.
Well, that's all I can give you. You know, he was a good player. I got an idea he played in Armitage his time. I'm not sure about that, but very early days, like. You know.
Yeah.
But there's one player I thought about during the week. I haven't heard mentioned here, Pugsley.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, Jack Pugsley.
Jack
I just remember Jack Pugsley.
Yeah, I haven't heard his name mentioned.
No,
No,
centre half.
Yeah.
Swarthy, dark.
He was very similar to John Oakes in period.
That's right, he was, yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
similar.
I'm surprised Davis didn't mention him because he was a Welshman and Pugsley was
Yeah.
a Welshman.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, she had quite a lot of good Welsh players. Starr Ashley was a very good player.
Yes, actually, he was
Ashley,
another
yes.
one. He was amateur one day at one time. was
No, I
he?
don't think so,
Don't think
not
so?
Ashley, no. They had an amateur who played for Quincy or Pegasus. Now, what was his name? I thought of it the other day. So it was like another chap who played as an amateur in more recent years, a chap who's manager of the MCC.
Stewart.
Stewart.
Oh yeah, Mickey Stewart. Yeah.
Mickey Stewart.
That's
I
Played
don't ring a
inside
bell,
left.
mate.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's more recent. That's going back, say, what?
The Croker's ring a bell.
Hmm?
Croker.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
so yeah, I remember them quite well.
Who was the other? I can't think of this chap's name now. He's a very good amateur player. I think he was a doctor as well.
You remember Lyndon, don't you?
Lyndon, yeah, I remember the name.
The goalkeeper.
That's right, yeah. Big
Fatty, wasn't he?
He was a big bloke. Must have been about 18 stone. He filled the goal up.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
got the ball past him,
yeah,
wasn't
that job did past him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember the Aberdeen athletic one.
Now, Percy, here's your receipt.
Oh, right, top.
Alright.
Not having so many today, eh?
No, I didn't ask any of the old players down.
Players have come.
I'll get them down. We've been given an extra term,
Oh, yes.
so we can carry on after Easter.
After Easter.
And I was thinking, maybe bring it up to more modern times.
Yeah.
Because before we were just trying to concentrate up to the sort of late 50s or
Yeah,
something.
right.
So, there's a lot going on with the club at the moment. So.
Yes. Well, let's hope they sort something out.
Which one's that, Harry?
No, this is one that I was telling this chap about. When during a period of Keith Peacock, he asked people to nominate the best team that played for Charlton over that period of 10 years. That whilst Peacock was playing, because that was his what's his name? And I sent in a team which was correct, barring one player, and I got second prize. But I'd also swapped notes with my brother, and he's only one player, a different player to mine, so we both got second. Got my name in here. But the chap I was trying to think of, when I said I couldn't remember him, a tall, very slim player, very good in the air, was Tees.
Oh, Matt Tees.
Tees.
That's right. Nobody mentioned him, did they? Matt Tees.
He comes
That's
from
another
Grimsby.
name.
That's right. He was yeah, Grimsby. That's right. He came. Didn't he come the same time as Charlie Wright? He came from Grimsby.
He may have done round about that time,
Yeah.
because the team
Matt Tees. I remember.
that was I only differed with one player to Keith Peacock, and I didn't put Tees in,
Quite time to read them.
but I can't think who I put in his place, and that was the only one I had wrong.
I didn't leave a pair of gloves here last week.
There's a team there.
I don't
but,
I lost a pair, I don't know where.
that he selected. It was
Well,
the
I had-
best
I had a
team
quick check around.
Only
Right,
was
yeah.
all players during that 10-year period
Oh,
when
yeah.
Peacock was playing, you see, so you couldn't pick anyone.
One sort of thing.
No,
I don't-
outside that.
I don't remember seeing
No, I
it.
reckon they were in the bus or somewhere.
I mean, if you could get that team playing
Yeah, if you
together,
remember, next
especially
week
that
it's not
half-back
on.
line.
Oh, it's not on next week.
With
Not on
Wendy
next week, it's on the week
Simpson,
after,
players
and
like
the week
that.
after that as
Yeah.
well.
Right, yeah.
Because next week I'm on a training course, so I can't make it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was
What other
10
jobs do
10
you do
years
besides
ago.
this, if I might ask?
Well, I work down at Age Exchange in Blackheath.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been down at the Reminiscence Centre? There's in the centre of the village, opposite the station, there's a place
Yeah.
called the Reminiscence Centre, and
I would say that's up where the post office is, isn't it?
well, the post office down the street.
That's
You
right.
go over the bridge in
Yeah.
the centre of the village. There's a supermarket. It used to be a baker's.
Yeah.
And next to the baker's there used to be a card shop, and before that was a boutique.
Oh, yeah.
And where the card shop was is the Reminiscence Centre.
Oh.
And
Quite interesting, I've been there. It's almost
Is it?
opposite the station.
Station?
Quite interesting.
Opposite the
bus
railway
stop's
tavern.
right
Yeah.
outside.
And in there, I mean, it's set up like there's a shop in there dating back from the 1920s.
Oh, yeah.
And we have different exhibitions on. We've got an exhibition on the cinema.
Oh.
And what we do is it's all work like this reminiscence work.
Oh, yeah.
And we publish books based on people's memories of how life was. I mean, it's all very, very interesting. I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
And also from the books, we then have plays, and the plays go out on tour to sort of community centres, day
yeah.
centres, old people's homes, these sort of places. And so it's a big circle. It all works very well.
Now, I live at Blackheath, but I don't tell anyone I live at Blackheath, because Blackheath means the village. Where I live at Shooters Hill.
Oh, I see,
You're at
yeah.
the standard end of it.
On the hospital end,
Oh, yes.
the Brook Hospital
Oh,
end.
all right, up there.
But if I tell people I live at Blackheath, which they have done, and that, but,
They think
I
you're
had some
just
friends
that one.
come from the Midlands and they went right down Blackheath, the village,
The village,
like,
yeah.
you know.
That's right.
But of course, we're just on the edge, step over and you're in Elton.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, every
Yeah,
time I went
everybody
there,
round.
you
Now,
Yeah,
what
all
I've
that
always
was
said, that was before they prices went up around the £3 mark,
Yeah.
there was a woman, her husband,
Yeah.
and 2 kiddies. Used to always be along our little
And
clique.
if they were missing, you'd say, where's Fred or where's Charlie?
Yeah.
You missed them, didn't you?
But you take it up how much it costs them now to go to a football
Yeah,
match.
that's right.
Your family.
You know, to take the family, you know, it's what used to be 3 times my week's wages.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. When I used to get, well, I got married on £3 a week, so, you know, it's unbelievable, really,
Yeah,
like,
it is.
you know. And half a crown of that was stamped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So you only had £2.17 and 6.
Yeah.
There you are, we got through it. We live.
Yeah.
But my wife always says now that after Thursday, I was the only one that ate in the house, the others didn't. There was no grub.
There's no sort of decision being made yet, evidently, as to what they're going to do, is there?
No.
I haven't heard anything anyway.
Well, who's it going to really rest with now? The 2 that have bought the...
Well, I suppose, yeah, I don't know that,
Well,
I suppose they're
it's supposed to have
costed
agreed
out.
I mean,
terms for buying it, haven't they?
Well, they bought it.
Done that, or
They
basically
bought
bought
it.
it, haven't they?
well,
It's
they're
been-
not the
it's
only
been
2
sealed.
on the board, are they?
No, there's 3 directors from Lang's, I understand.
3
2 directors of Charlton.
Of Charlton.
Have formed this company, that's what I read.
Oh, yeah.
And bought the valley, you see.
That's
It's
right.
all added on.
Lang are a
something.
property
Yeah.
company, aren't they?
Yeah.
Lang are a property company.
Yeah.
And the idea is that Lang will develop the ground, or the alternative is this new one at Blackwell Lane.
Yeah.
And Lang again, I suppose, will
Yeah,
develop the
Get a,
ground.
get a bit in there.
I suppose they decide which is the cheapest to do, I don't know. Or is it up to the council now?
But I think the council have got a big say in it, because it's up to
Yeah.
the permission, all depends on
See,
them.
the
Planning, yeah.
big factor of the one down on the gas company place is because the council are going to build a complex down there anyway,
Mm.
whether Charlton are interested or not, you see.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact
Are
that
they?
they're going to build
Oh.
it, oh yeah.
So obviously the council would like to have Charlton.
supermarket and a leisure centre. and they want Charlton to go have their ground there, you see, and make a good show of it.
Well, that would be better for Charlton because it'd attract people there, wouldn't it?
And the ground
Yeah,
would
but
be
it's
used.
a little way away from the centre of Charlton.
Yeah, this is it. And the ground would be used all the time for any leisure activities and let out to other football local clubs
I
and this
see
sort of thing,
yeah.
to make it pay, and it would work out cheaper than playing over in a private ground.
But then that would involve then British Rail building a station down
Well,
there.
no, I spoke to this chap here, the council chap, as I was walking up the road, and I said, well, I mean, I live down Blackwall Lane, it's not very accessible at all. He said, well, we've thought about it, and he said, now they've got a new road, Bugsby's Way, coming down from Charlton. He said, that's a big factor. And he said, the railway line at the spur, which is
The Angustine
Wharf,
yes,
he said they're going to open that up.
Open that up.
and they'd have to build a station at the end of
They
it.
have to have a sport
so.
station. I mean, it's not a very big problem really, not just for football.
Well, I don't want them to go there. I want them to go back to Valley.
So do I.
So I'm gonna. I should boycott it. I won't.
Well, I don't really want them to go down there.
Well, it's whatever happens
I
now.
live there
They might
because
put
I'm
your
going to
house
put up
down.
with all the aggro people coming past.
Yeah, well,
Traffic.
now,
Yeah, all the stones through the
after
ring.
it's all done and they've got a ground and they're all settled, what's the crowd going to be?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
What's the crowd going to
Well,
be?
they're just over 8,000 now, didn't they? Which for a London derby and very.
Yeah.
No, it's not very good.
That's what they had on Saturday.
No. Well, I suppose it depends on success.
On the merits of the team.
Yeah, on the team. You know, if they do well.
If they can stay up this season and next season, because it won't be to the end of next season that they go back to the
No,
Premier
that's
League.
right. Yeah, if they can only stay in the first division, come back to first division club. I
Yeah.
think, you know.
Well, even if they dropped and then come back the same year.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
be a fill-up, really.
Drop this year and come
Drop
back
this
the
year and then
next.
come back next. That would be
Yeah.
really a
Yeah.
fill-up.
Oh, they've got a chance though. Depends what.
What, staying up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've got a
Because
chance.
they've got to play
Chance.
the teams that are in the same position.
That's
as
right,
themselves.
they're
It's a big
six
factor.
points,
If they
yeah.
win, then we're all well and good. But if they lose them, they're finished.
They're finished.
Yeah.
It's,
That's right.
you know, they're on a knife edge really.
Well, they've got what?
Yeah.
They've got.
Of course, Charlton play more games, don't they?
Yes.
Of course, they always say points in the end are better
That's
than
right.
if you haven't played the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they've got 7 points in the last 3 games, haven't they?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be
They're 2
surprised
wins
to
and
see
a
them
draw.
getting at least a point this week at Southampton. I think they could get a point. Even surprise win.
Well, if they can just
That's
keep
what
just
they
keep
want.
momentum going from
Southampton are a
Saturday.
mid-team.
Yeah.
They've got not concerned in anything, are they? Southampton.
Not really. No, they're mid-table more or less, aren't they? Can't go up.
Because they done fairly well. They were right down the bottom with Norwich at the beginning.
Yes,
of the
they
season.
were.
Southampton.
Yeah, they've
one of the
recovered.
bottom 3 or 4 teams, weren't they?
I reckon
Yeah.
there's been a little bit of trouble in the club, haven't there, with Garth Cooks.
Well, so they say, but
Has that
they
not?
kept saying he was injured.
I've got the feeling there has,
Yeah.
because they brought him back, didn't
Yeah.
they? I mean, he hadn't been in the team for a few
No.
weeks.
No.
But they kept saying he was injured,
They
but
did
I
say
tried
he
to
was
find out, and I had some doubts whether he was injured.
Injured, so did I.
There was some disagreement between
Between
him
him
and
and
Lawrence.
yeah.
Well, he's
that
come
right?
back. He's been knocking them in. That's what
Yeah,
he
that's,
said.
well,
Yeah, I mean, 2 goals last week.
yeah.
He got one a couple of weeks ago as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he got 2, didn't he, when he first came? What was
That's,
it?
that's my argument.
They
They
got
should have been
two.
playing him, shouldn't they?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
quite useful.
I said he was over the hill, you know.
yeah.
But he can still.
Put him in. Well, that's what he
It's
was really
experience
for,
that you
wasn't it?
need at this
Yeah.
time when they're, really
Yeah.
got their backs up going to war. But he dropped the other fella, hasn't he, in preference to Crooks, the bloke they paid all the money for.
Jones. But he hasn't been a success, has he?
No.
He's only scored about 5, I think.
But he's always been a goal scorer wherever he's been before, so I mean,
Yeah,
he'll
he's
probably
scored a
come
lot.
back to him. I mean, they all have this bad
Oh,
period.
yeah.
don't
don't
Yeah.
they?
But that happens sometimes when a player moves to another club.
they? Yeah, that's
And
right.
It takes an
they,
awful
they,
long
they just
time for it to-
lose their stride completely. I mean, look at
Yeah. Well, it's happened
Charlie
all the
Nicholas when he
time.
went to Arsenal.
Yeah, it's Nicholas.
Oh,
yeah.
about the later
Then
one?
the Kirk going abroad,
Welsh.
he's done nothing,
Mm,
but nor is the other fellow,
Isn't it?
Liverpool.
The later one, Welsh.
Yeah.
He's come back.
Walsh.
Welsh.
Oh, Walsh,
He's
yes.
back in training, I believe.
Never ought to let him go, I don't reckon.
Oh, no,
Oh,
that's
no, you're
Colin.
talking about...
That's another Walsh.
Walsh.
You're talking about Paul Walsh, yeah,
Yes,
he's come back
Paul
to
Walsh.
London.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
But
but
he
Spurs.
went to Liverpool.
Oh, yes. No, he couldn't get in the team at
No,
Liverpool.
couldn't get in
Played
the
No,
team.
he played about...
But,
Now he's
Good.
come back and he's...
Lovely goal with
Yeah.
Spurs. You
Yeah.
see that goal he had over a kick?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Might
Yeah.
have been lucky, but it looked good.
Oh, no, the other
They all
Walsh.
count.
He's back in training, I've been
Yeah.
told, he broke his leg.
Yeah, Colin Walsh.
Colin Walsh.
They've missed him. I'm
Because
sure
he's
they've
a key
missed him.
player.
Yeah.
He's a key player.
Yeah.
Well, didn't your wife ever go down with you to the valley then, Percy?
No, she only ever come once that I can remember, and I was with a mate, like, you know,
Yeah.
and she stood reading a book. I don't know what game it was, and Charlton scored. The chap I was with, he's dead now, picked hold of the book and slung it up in the air about 30 foot. She never came in, but she always tells me that she went to the Arsenal with her brother on the back of his motorbike. This is her tale, because she's 83 now. So, and she says that when they were there, Alf, the brother, like, they stood there, and the bloke next door, 2 doors away, swearing like hell, like, you know. So her brother Alf says to him, "Here, hold your language up, chum, there's women about." "Ah, she ought to be home cooking the bloody greens." that was the answer. Yeah, that's the only 2 matches she says she's ever been. Nah, she's not a footballer.
And what about your brothers? Because you started telling us a bit about your brothers a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, they were. Well, the oldest one is dead now. He used to play for the Delta.
I'll get in. No, yeah.
When they had a good team, and
Yeah, that's right.
you take it back years, more or less when the first cup final was played at Wembley, Delta was nearly shut down, and there was only, I think, 14 men there. They kept on straight in metal, and they were the football team. Yeah, and they kept them there straightening up their metal, in bars of metal that they used to do.
Yeah.
And he was a fair footballer, but wasn't good enough. But the Delta at that time had a good team.
Good side.
Yeah, so they really had a good team. There was 3 of us. Do you ever remember when Charlton had when Trotter was manager, they had a meeting down in Woolwich Town Hall trying to encourage more support or different ways of getting support. Well, I went down with the 2 brothers, like, you know, and I think we did more of the bloody prodding and what's name than anybody there, like, you know. But it was a very interesting
Was it?
meeting. Yeah. But nothing come of it, like, you know.
How long was Trotter manager? Just a few years? wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it wasn't very long, was it?
Not long, no.
Couple of years, 3 years?
Something like that, yeah. I mean,
He didn't really like being a manager anyway.
No,
He
he
never
wasn't put out
took
for
it, did he?
No,
Because
he
he had a
wasn't.
good job, didn't he,
He was-
before?
He was the England team.
Yes, he was.
Really, yes. But he walked out one evening before there was an evening match on, and he walked out before the match went over.
Did he?
Yeah, they were struggling before the match ever started.
Started,
It was he walked out before
Yeah.
and went
Yeah, I don't think he
Went
was the sort of chap that
It
built
got
to
too
be-
much
Very
for him.
nice chap, but I couldn't
So
remember
the team
quite
was
well.
struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, Greenwood's a business, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. 'Cause,
Yeah, that's what he sort of went
yeah.
into when he.
Oh, did he?
Whether he's is he still around?
I think so. He must
Don't
be.
never heard of
I
him.
don't know.
I've never heard of his death, but I've no idea. Charlie Ribble said he was dead.
He's dead, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. But he used to, I heard he used to treat people at his home, you know, for
Yeah,
injuries.
because they built
Yeah.
that house for him at a new place at the back of at Charlton, didn't they? Back of the,
Up on the hill where
Yeah, up
the
on the hill,
laundry,
overlooking the ground.
where the
Oh, did
Charlton
they?
laundry
yeah, they
is,
built a house
Oh,
for
yeah.
him at Charlton.
John.
Well,
Then
still-
Huey lived there afterwards at
I
one
think,
time.
yeah, one of the players took it
Yeah,
up. I
Huey.
think it was Huey.
Yeah.
Because Georgie Green was saying last week that Seed had a house bought for him by the Glicksteins.
Yeah.
He had a quite nice
Present,
house.
wasn't it? Something
Yeah.
to give to him.
Well, the players were on a pittance, he's getting free houses.
Of course, obviously to me was always a hero. I mean, because.
Well, yeah, everyone at the
time,
time
but
said he was.
since
but
I've
the
heard
players
these people, he
thought
ends up.
differently. It was-
He's not a
Yeah, well, they
hero.
probably know, you see.
It's probably often the way though, so someone who looks very successful from the outside, when you
Yeah.
actually know them on the inside, they can be really mean and hard.
But I suppose after all, what you mean, he proved he's a good manager by the way the club.
Well, of course he did. The players he brought there,
It
didn't
probably
he?
had to be that way. If he was otherwise, they might not got where they did. I mean, he went from third right up to the first and finished runners up in the first division, didn't they?
That's right.
But
Who's done it? Wimbledon done it, haven't they, since then? Wimbledon come from the third. Well, Wimbledon come from the amateur, the semi-professional league, didn't they? And into the football league and then right the way through.
I shouldn't dwell on this very much, but last week I brought up the Derby County programme from
Oh,
that.
yes.
And they had a little bit in there about Charlie Devil, which wasn't all that odd.
Oh?
Yeah.
Of course he played for Derby, he went to Derby.
Yeah. More or less said he was no good. They did, didn't they?
That's right. They said he played out. Was it 20 odd games to them, didn't he, or something?
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
And then quickly slipped away into non-league football.
I said to him, I don't want him to see that.
Well, I mean, it proved himself at Charlton. He was quite useful, wasn't he?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I thought he was, yeah.
Well, he was probably knocking on a bit when he went to
Yeah, I suppose
Derby,
he
wasn't
was.
he, for a player?
I mean, you get players thrown out from other clubs. You take Johns, the goalkeeper. I mean, he was a good goalkeeper at Millwall. And he went to Sheffield, and Sheffield got rid of him. They said he was hopeless. He came to Charlton, and he played very well. He was one of the best goalkeepers ever.
Of course, I don't know what he went to Queen's Park Rangers
No,
for, though, because he
because
played a
they-
few matches
They
and
haven't got a
Seaman has
good
come
cover.
back.
I mean, if anything happens to the Boulder, they haven't got anyone else.
No, I wondered about
They
that.
would really be in trouble with.
Who else they got to cover?
Nobody. Well, I've watched the youth team. There's nothing there, and whoever plays in the reserve team, well, I've never heard of the bloke.
Is
I
there
think,
any
I think it's the same goalkeeper. But they must. See, with goalkeepers, then they get one on the loan,
No,
don't
don't
they?
they? Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Boulder did get injured that they'd get Johns back as a. Because he's not playing now because he got their own goalkeeper back.
Seaman,
Seaman.
yeah, Seaman. Yeah. Oh, he's a good goalkeeper, Johns, I thought.
Just give him good service, isn't he?
No,
And yet they threw him out of Sheffield. They just couldn't stand him. He was terrible. I mean, he was player of the year, wasn't he? 2 or 3 occasions, Johns at Charlton.
Yeah.
Just goes to show, doesn't it?
Yeah, so they fit in different clubs, you see.
You wouldn't. I mean, you know, most people think if you're a good player no matter where you are.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Well, I mean,
It
Nicholas,
just doesn't
chap
work.
you mentioned just now, Nicholas, I mean, he was top grade, wasn't he?
He was ace.
Best player he
Celtic.
had in Scotland.
Yeah.
Come down to Arsenal and nothing.
Did nothing at all.
Didn't come up at all. They give him chance after chance. And,
Now he's gone back to Aberdeen, hasn't he? or
yeah,
something?
back up to Scotland. That's
Miles away?
I can't think of something
But
happened yesterday.
what happens now, if I'm doing anything and thinking of anything else, then what I'm doing is going wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you find,
Yeah, that's
I
right,
find
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like, you know, I can't think of 2 things at once, like you
No.
can when you're young.
No.
I sometimes have the same problem.
Do you? Well, you didn't all do.
Yeah.
Nah, you didn't all do.
Get sidetracked and just completely forget what I was doing in the first place.
That's right, yeah.
No, I was trying to think. All saw good games, never saw many bad games down at the Valley. I can say that. Do you say that?
Oh yeah.
Always seen good games.
Well, the atmosphere was different because I mean
Yeah.
you go there and you get all this chanting. It's all unnecessary
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean we used to go down and have a nice quiet sort of match, a bit of cheering when it was
Yeah.
needed and
Yeah.
a bit of clapping,
Yeah.
and that was it. But
And
not
a
all
bit of
this
fun.
shouting all the time. People who spend all their time shouting and that they're not watching the football.
Or you used to say, oh, you silly sod, or something like
That's
that.
right,
didn't you? That was it.
Yeah.
You know, you'd never think of throwing a beer can or...
What about the referee? Did he ever come in for any stick?
You had about
Oh, you had time to refugees to come
you
in.
had 2 or 3 policemen, didn't you? Perhaps
Yeah.
one in each corner of the pitch, and that's all you saw. But now
Yeah.
there's more police down Charlton than what there is spectators.
I know, even when I took my grandson down first, he was quite young, You know, he used to always, I stood up the back, but he used to always go down the front and then, you know, fencing on. And the coppers used to talk to him, you know.
Right, that's it,
You know, ask them questions about the football and that, you know, that interested, but it don't happen now.
No.
It's all very sad what's happened to
It is.
the football.
We
Yeah.
can't see it ever coming back.
No.
Really.
I can't see any.
Well, there's no return, is there, really? You can't get round it once. There's always going to be that element that's going to cause the trouble.
Yeah.
Of course, the more publicity you get for things like that, the more people think, oh,
Yeah,
that sounds like
it does,
a good
doesn't it?
idea.
Yeah,
It just
that's right.
snowballs, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, in the press, you perhaps hear of going away from football, a murder or somebody's done something, then it follows 2 or 3 times, doesn't it? You know, it seems to have a cycle.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Luciano Masiello?
Oh yeah, that's
Whatever happened to him?
Cool. We got him.
Luciano Masiello.
Yeah, was Italian, wasn't it?
Italian, born in Naples. Yeah.
I remember him.
How long did he play for them for? I'm saying it.
He was an apprentice in June 1967. He became a professional in 1969 in January, and he made his league debut in December 1969, and he played 6 games up to when this was printed.
Another one I thought,
Yeah.
what about Fermani?
Yeah, that's right. He was a good
Yeah,
player.
a good player, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was manager for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Took
Do you
over.
remember Rayner being manager?
I don't. I remember my
He was
name,
bloke who had the fire, wasn't he?
That's right.
I
Yeah, I remember the
remember
father
the
talking about Raymond.
Manager
Yeah.
before
He was a
Jimmy
crook.
C.
He was a crook, yeah. he sold them
He had a
down the
fire.
drain.
But the books the same.
Yeah, he
I
sold
can remember, just about remember the manager before Jimmy C, the Alec McFarlane.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
McFarlane.
Scott
He was the
wasn't
manager
he? Yeah.
before Jimmy C.
I forgot him.
Wasn't Lyndon the manager as well at some point?
I think Lyndon, the
Didn't he?
goalkeeper.
Albert Lyndon was, yeah.
Yeah,
Paddy Lyndon.
I think he
Yes,
was,
he was
one in
manager.
very early days.
I don't know, player manager, wasn't he, or something? I can remember seeing just
the
remember
name of
seeing
the
Albert
Bell.
Lyndon play.
Play, yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
saw
was-
him play.
He was a fat man.
Oh, yeah.
Most unusual for a goalkeeper. Fat man.
Mm.
Oh, it's full of characters. John Kears, remember him?
Yeah,
John
Kears,
Kears.
yeah.
No, I
That's right.
don't remember kids.
Scotsman.
Yeah, halfback. I think.
Were you regular down to Valley all the way
1965 he
up
played.
to when they moved away?
Yeah, because I told you I travelled about
Yeah.
a bit. Like,
But when you were around the area,
when
you
I
were
was
always
in the
through
area,
the 60s.
I always went.
Through
I
the
never
60s.
went anywhere else. I went to all the London away matches,
Hmm.
and if I was away, like I was at Southend, as I told you
Yeah.
at one time,
That's right.
I saw them play. And I told him I'd been ill for a week when I was at Leon C. Actually, I lived in, and I wanted to go to Cheltenham Southend on a Saturday. And I've been ill for a week. Of course, the missus, you know, you ain't going to football.
Yeah,
right? You-
I used to
like
get that.
that. So what I did, I said, I'll go and see the doctor on Friday. So I went round to see the quack on Friday, and I come back and the quack said, I've got to have a lot of fresh air. I've got to get out in the air. So I went to see Cheltenham Southend.
I remember I used to have those blooming excuses, too, with my mother even, you know. Been off school all week, so I wasn't well. Only Saturday. Miraculous recovery on Saturday afternoon.
My father was never a football supporter, not in any way really. He's ridiculous, you know. He used to love getting at you about the football.
Yeah.
Those you and your brothers had some pretty hot arguments about it.
Yeah,
with him about
you
it.
know, with him about it. Yeah. Well, I was going to get my younger brother, he's 18 months younger than me, to come down, but he's bad on his pins. So,
Is
you
he?
know, yeah. That's why I was sticking that.
Hmm.
It's a walk from that bus down to here.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
You
right.
That's
know,
one, isn't it?
it's a problem. I thought the stop would be a little higher up. This one.
Yeah,
It's not so bad when you go out.
it stops just there.
There, but across the other side of the road, it's down.
Down a bit,
slightly,
yeah.
Yeah, no, my father would never miss a match, and he was ill, and we said, well, if he don't go to football, then he must be ill. So that Saturday, he never went to football, and a couple of weeks after that, he died.
Did
so-
he? So he was ill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
No, he never missed a match. Yeah.
My father was a bowls man. He played bowls.
Well, there's a chance I might be able to arrange for us all to go down to Selhurst Park to see a match.
Oh yeah.
And there'll be some transport as well through the Thameside Education Institute. So would you be interested? You'll be interested in that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to sort that with the club as well.
Yeah.
But I was speaking to Thameside about it last week, and they said they think they could probably put on some transport, either cars or minibus or something.
Yeah,
we can go down there.
Yeah.
And if your brother wanted to come down to that, we could fit him in on that.
Yeah.
If you've got transport for him.
Yeah, I don't know whether he'd be keen now, but
Yeah. We have to see anyway.
I've been there, so I've only been there 3 times.
Yeah, I've only been cut 3.
Yeah, because it is such a. I went on. The only time I went, the first time I went, was for promotion year, and I saw them beat Blackburn 3-0. I think it was 3-1. And that's the only time I've been by about 75 bus. I mean, it was all right going, I suppose, because I got there, an hour or two before the game, because I didn't know how the buses were. But coming back, I had to wait ages for one to get back. That was the problem. Yeah, I was 75 bus. But the other 2 times I've been taken over by somebody in a car, and that's not so bad.
Well, I get there reasonably easy because I go get a bus to New Cross Gate, get on a train, and it's only a few minutes walk, so it's quite reasonably easy that way.
Where'd you go? Norwood?
Norwood Junction.
from New Cross Gate.
No, that's right, of course.
Come out and walk up the road, the clock's out the top, turn left, and then right turn, you're in the ground. Well, I suppose it's about, if you walk slow, like you get a lot of people walking along, it takes about 10 minutes from the station. But I think I've always found that the best way to go.
Yeah.
Because when you look back at the history of Charlton, I mean, they've never really been a very sort of steady club, have they? They've always been going up and down.
That's right, yeah.
They
They
have
have,
more
yeah.
just, like a yo-yo.
They get the formula right for a few seasons, and suddenly snaps. They slip away again.
I saw Madrid and Valencia play once.
Did you? Where was that?
In Madrid,
What were you doing out there?
working. When I took a job on too late really. When I retired, I went abroad 3 times doing jobs. What actually it was, I was working for a firm named Baker Perkins, Peterborough.
Oh yeah,
Baker Perkins. Well, I've been in the bakery trade all my life, and they were putting in bakery machinery. Well, on the engineering side, they were all right. But once they got the plant in, which was, they were Swiss roll plants, automatic, making Swiss rolls on the belt, and with what had done by hand in rolling, it was fully automatic. Well, they had no one to start the mixings off. And so, of course, I only went out there to start mixings off. I went to Yugoslavia.
Did you?
Yeah, so I had 3 weeks in Yugoslavia. Really a holiday. It was absolutely, well, I've never had a holiday like it. I went out there working. What happened, Baker Perkins, when I got out there, the engineer wasn't finished. He had about another 3 days' work. So of course I slipped in and helped him, because he used to bring a couple of engineers over from England, but they used to use their labour.
Oh, I see.
I see, yeah.
And,
Slave labour, yeah.
Yeah, the engineers did. And I helped him, and they went and started off, well, I've got to tell you a little tale. Before this plant, they had 24 women and 3 men working in this bakery making Swiss rolls. And when they put this plant in, what the Yugoslavs said, they wanted the exact roll, what they'd been making by hand, coming off that machine. Well, that's not always easy, But anyway, the first day we started up and worked, and with all up to concrete the first day. Second day, we struck lucky. We got it running, and it was so perfect, like their roll, that they said they wouldn't let us touch it. We could have improved it,
Yeah,
but
that's it.
they wouldn't let us touch it. That was what they wanted. That's where they stopped. And you know, every afternoon, the of course, the managers there are not like managers here.
No,
they can't sack anyone.
No.
You know, the people in the factory say who's going to work.
That's right, yeah, they work in the...
And and when we were there, the engineer, I suppose it was about the third day, they had us upstairs in their offices, like, you know. There wasn't only one, there was a team of about 14 or 15 heads of a...
Yeah.
Well, they're not heads of the firm, actually.
No, they're run by the workers.
That's right, they're
I've been
sort of
out
heads
there
of the
about
workers,
3 or 4
like, you
times.
know. They had it
That's
all
it.
round this table, bottles of wine, all their wine, all the way through, like, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
And for about 3 hours, they instructed me and that engineer about their country. We were free to go where we wanted. They didn't want to hide anything, and they gave us all this job for about 3 hours, drinking wine all the time. Well, when I come down the stairs, my toes were tingling. You could bet, like, you know. Well, it was very, very interesting,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Well, they still work on the same sort of scale now, don't they?
Yeah, then
They're
they
not classed as,
said to us, you know,
governors.
one day after we'd been running, I was there 3 weeks, after we'd been running a while, I'd nothing to do, just walk about and talk to people as much as I could and that sort of thing. They said they got the health inspectors or sub-inspectors to come round. There's about 30 of them flopping there, like, you know.
What part was it was in?
Bled.
Oh, Bled.
Do you know it at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know it, yeah, but
Yeah.
I've been there 3 or 4 times, but further down the south.
Yeah, that's right, you go to the coast more, don't you?
And,
Well,
there.
Bled
Yeah.
is a big
It's up-
lake.
It's up here.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
wonderful place.
Yeah.
And I said to you, I had a wonderful holiday, I did, because most days the manager, supposed to be the manager of the factory, was so pleased the way it was running that every afternoon he took us to a different place. He only had a Volkswagen because the roads are not, you can't have a big car like, you know, and he only had a Volkswagen, but he used to take us, he used to like to show us all the places what the Jerry had done to Mum during the war. You know, like hospital, we went in hospital there with people still lamed and what the Jerrys had done to them during the war, because I'm going back now 17 years, like when I went out there.
It's 2 months in after though, isn't it?
Yes, it was a wonderful experience, really, like.
Because they built a big new road through it. I mean, it's 2,000 miles of coastline in Yugoslavia, and they built
Yeah.
a road almost, it was built by students, volunteers, students, just
But
right there.
before I went,
Expenses.
most people, I think, they got the idea, you know, or I did, that they were backward people and that. You know. Blimey, on Sunday, just like people walking around Hyde Park and that, it could be no difference. They were dressed up and smart and, you know,
Yeah.
it wasn't rough and that, like, you know. Oh, it was wonderful. And then I went, and when I said I went to Madrid, well, blimey, what a difference. I had to go to, well, what had happened there, it was a biscuit factory.
Oh, yes.
Well, a biscuit factory, on the conveyor belts, they're like wire mesh, but on a Swiss roll plant, the belts metal. But they wanted, the Spaniards wanted to make Swiss roll on the
Oh, I see.
biscuit plant.
Oh.
Well, of course, you've got a biscuit is a solid
And the other one's
base,
sloppy.
and the other one's sloppy, it's all run through, like, you
Yeah,
know.
that's right.
Now, they'd been to London, they'd been to Baker Perkins, and Baker Perkins had told them that they couldn't do it on that plant. They'd have to have another plant, or another bands, at any rate. And what happened then was that they wanted somebody out there who could tell them straight.
Yeah.
So the Baker Perkins asked me if I'd go out there. So I said, yeah, really, to tell them that they couldn't work on this farm. So when I got out there, like, you know, I thought I was in Madrid. I thought it was right outside Madrid, this bakery. And I thought, well, I'll get there early. So I got there 8 o'clock in the morning, like, you know, show a good face. Christ almighty, they put me in a bloody small room and I was there 3 hours before anybody come. Yeah, it's comical, like.
Yeah.
And when they did come, they called me up into their offices and had words with me, and of course I took a lot of samples out to show them what could be done if they had a proper switch roll plant. And they said, well, go down and have a look around the bakery and tell us what you think of it. So of course I go down this bakery, you can never see such a filthy place in all your life. God, I mean, there was all, I don't know what they were filled with, all sacks all the way round. The toilet, without word of a lie, was a big hole in the middle with just a bit of tin round, more or less in the middle of the bakery.
Good.
And do you know what? I bet there was 20 cats laid about that, where they were making biscuits. Like, you know. So of course I upset them, right? The first thing I did when I went back and talked to them, I said, well, the first thing you've got to do is get a new bloody bakery. I said, because you never make Swiss rolls in a place like that.
No.
I said, God blimey, I said, you'd be condemned straight away. That upset them.
Yeah, would do.
So for the rest of the week, they didn't want to know me too much, like, you know, although I did a few jobs for them and that, like, you know. But the best part was I had 2 girls from the office. All smashers they were. They never left me.
No.
If I went to the toilet, they stood outside till I come out. And every movement I made, they put down. Every little thing I did, like, you know, they put down.
Felt like royalty, did he?
Yeah. I mean, at that time, I suppose it must have cost about £400 for me to go out there for the week and expenses and all that. Like, must have done, like, you know. I don't think anything come of it. Didn't worry me, I got my money. Whether Baker Perkins got theirs, I don't know. Yeah, then they asked me to go again, but at that age, to pick up your bags and go out there, it's not. I wanted that job when I was about 40.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What was it like at a football match then?
Well, people all hanging out the cars, like, you know, could never happen here.
No.
I'm sure it couldn't. Never. That was to me more interesting than
the
football match, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you've got a lot
Well, the Continentals also had that reputation of being rather sort of flamboyant.
Yeah,
Both in their play
they were on
and
top
their
of the
support.
cars, they were everywhere, like, you know. So you know, running about, like, you know.
Was it a big crowd in the ground?
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell you how many, like, you know. Well, a fella took me, like, you know, and he did all the paying and that, like, you know, so I didn't worry at all, like, you know, I don't know how he paid or what he paid. Well, we stood, I never sat. Most of the seats people were sitting, but I never liked sitting in the football match. I'd sooner stand, like, you know. Well, there wasn't many standing, they don't seem to me to be sitting, like, you know.
It was strange because I saw a programme, thing on television about the Italian league, and even these days, for ordinary league games, they get huge crowds.
They do.
Yeah.
And they get huge. They've got huge stadiums, huge crowds, and it's.
Yeah. But the town Madrid was alive, no question about it. Like, you know, I've never seen that. I suppose I would come. I suppose the nearest I saw it was the first cup final at Wembley. Yeah, so I've done 3 trips and they wanted me to do again, but they were easy jobs. Jobs wasn't on, or Mrs. didn't want me to go. Money was good though.
Oh, she didn't go with you in any of the trips?
No, my wife was slow, I suppose, more only, because I could have had another job in Spain and I could have gone out there for 2 years. And I had interviewed with a up in London, a hotel, and the bloke said to me, I'm more or less got the job. He said, we would like you because you're the older type and our people won't think you're coming over to do them out of a job like, you know. But I put them in touch, when I decided not to go, and I was good job, I put them in touch with a young fella from Lyons' bakery, And he went out there, like, you know, and he said that for the first 18 months, he never done nothing. He was out there for 2 years. He said they were arguing all the time of what they should do. Yeah, and he was paid and all that, and he had his wife out there, and he was out there 18 months, and they were arguing. You know.
It's just Latin temperament, isn't it?
Yeah, you know. And I must tell you about when I had
He
this,
looks a lot different there, doesn't he?
when I had
Davis.
this job in
You
Spain.
see?
Is that the same one?
One of the first things happened.
They're the
when I
coal
came out
Davis.
there,
Got one
stepped
Cyril.
out into the road about 40
Yeah,
goats.
yeah,
Because the road was old.
I was going to point that out to him and see well, they did have two Davis.
The comedy
18 years ago, that was, I mean, he would have been about 20.
told you they kept me waiting, and then I went down to the bakery, and then I saw them. And you know what? I suppose
Was
it
it
was 3 o'clock in the
Cyril?
afternoon.
Yeah,
Nobody said anything to me.
Yeah, I'm
Everybody
looking at
disappeared.
that.
Siesta time.
Yeah, of course. I was.
There was a
You
picture
know,
of
you
one
know,
of
you
the
boy, I
programs
don't
had
know
last
that,
week.
everybody disappeared. They come back about
It wasn't like that, wasn't it?
6 or
No,
7
no,
o'clock in the evening.
I was,
And
I
went
think they must have
till
had
about
another
9.
one.
yeah, they did have two Davis, but I can't remember.
You said that, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Oh, I had easy times, especially now. It was
Well,
waste
that's
of
the
money.
Bob
It was letting me
Curtis.
go
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, we went, yeah,
But
we
But
yeah,
these
we
two
went
girls,
now,
this is
but we went to
probably
another.
too nice. They were really nice girls, like, you know, we speak the language well.
He originated from Mansfield.
You learn the language.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, he was a really
not
good
up
player,
like,
wasn't
you
he?
know.
There was a lot of clubs after him when he was.
The thing was,
you know,
let's go back when I was in
yeah.
Yugoslavia,
Bob
when I
Curtis.
used to
And
talk
Mark
as much as I
Kenning.
could to
Yeah,
the
he was
women
good
there.
player, Kenny.
What happened to him?
The part when I was leaving,
Reeves.
to come home,
Yeah.
like, they all got used to me and saying goodbye, sort of thing, like, you know. And
Full
they
ball,
call their
yes,
women
yeah.
cows, you know. That's a natural thing, right, you know.
It's not
No,
doing
no.
no.
So I
can't really
said,
think that,
I'm going
This
home
Cyril Davis
to
who was
cow
here would be playing
fly.
at the same time as Warren.
And that's
No,
how
but
I
it
thought
would
I
be-
got through them,
No.
lots of things.
That's
It's a
like
different
that.
era.
Oh yeah, and then none of the happened in Yugoslavia every day.
Photograph that.
They brought in one of the
Foley.
very
Yeah,
manager
now,
now,
what, assistant manager.
At Ivory, yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
you know. And I nearly lived on plums.
Be careful with plums, aren't you?
Yeah, but it didn't seem to affect me at any rate, like, you know. Oh yeah.
You didn't see any football in Yugoslavia?
No, no. I only had one chap there who worked in the bakery. He knew more about the teams in England than what I did. Yeah, he did, and he could speak their names. Like Bastley was one of his favourites.
Oh,
yeah, Bastley. He was always on me, you know, Bastley, you know, trying to tell me he was good or that, like, you know. Oh yes, I think took a lot of, because there was only, was it 3? I'm not quite sure how many, if it was about 3 or 4. So, but they were all pretty keen on talking football. Like, you know.
Have Charlton played any European competitions?
They did go out there, yeah, they did go.
They've not had any very good success.
Oh, no, because it
No.
didn't have the same as it was now. There was no European Cup in those days.
No, they
I'm
had
thinking about
friendly-
more
But
recent
they went on
times.
tours.
Tours of
Yeah,
Sweden,
on
didn't
tours.
they? They played Norrköping or something.
Yeah, that's right. Used to go to Sweden,
Sweden.
and Norway and places like that.
No, yes, there weren't any.
To Belgium a lot, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I don't think. they
I remember
played.
early on, when they had their big run, they had a tour of United States. as
That's
well,
right.
didn't
That's
they?
right, they did one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's the two they had from, was it Holland or Dublin?
Holland, yeah, they went to Holland and Belgium.
No, they had 2 players come over, didn't they?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yes, they had a goalkeeper,
Yep.
Keyser.
Yeah, but they had one,
You're talking about more recent
they,
events.
yeah, well,
Jepson.
No, after that.
After
Three.
Jepson.
After that,
Yeah.
they had 2 players.
2
No,
players.
It wasn't Holland.
Was it 2 brothers?
It wasn't Holland, it was Denmark.
Oh, that's right, come from Denmark. Well, they're
Denmark.
brothers.
Because they used to have to fly the flag at Charlton, above the
That's right,
Danish
but
flag.
Danish
because
flag.
of these 2 players they'd signed.
Yeah.
And
Where were
they
they?
played for about 3 seasons.
That's
2
right.
or 3
yeah.
seasons.
But
and,
they didn't do
went
over,
back.
did they?
No, they didn't.
They didn't,
really.
no.
It's supposed to have been, you know.
One was
International players.
Oh, you don't
yeah.
mean Simonson, do you?
No, not Simonson. No.
I can't think of their name. 2 of them. I
If
thought
you
they
remember their names,
I thought they
you'll
were-
recollect them straight away.
Yeah, I
One
thought-
of them was a very thick-set player, a bit bow-legged.
I always
centre
thought they were
forward.
brothers.
And the other fella was a winger, and the winger now his name beginning with an M.
One never hardly
No,
played.
he didn't play.
One played more than the other.
And the other
didn't
one played regular, but
Yeah.
they brought them on as subs mainly. They
he?
didn't-
That's right, yeah, they
It
bought
was
us.
so
Yeah,
different.
they never. I can't think of their
I
name.
can't remember, no.
Yeah, you
Remember-
would do if their name.
Oh yeah, if you heard their names.
How long ago was this?
Oh, not after this.
So-
After that program I got there,
This was 1970.
when I was
How
in
many
the
years?
second division, the year they went.
Yes,
the year they
they
went
were
up.
second division, yeah.
Not all that long ago. It must have been in the 70s. Wouldn't be any mention of.
Well, they come over here with the big name.
I
like
did. That's
Adam
right.
Malou
That's
and
right. They was in it. He was
Yeah,
international.
that's
He
right,
was
yeah.
a thick-set chap, and they never
They never, well,
made the grade, did they?
No. No.
They had a band when they first played. They had a
Oh,
band
yeah,
playing, and
You,
they had the Danish national flag flying
Flying,
above the
that's
stand
right,
and
yeah.
in one of the corners.
yeah.
I remember.
Oh, yeah, you would do.
Well, didn't make a name for themselves.
No,
They were
no.
forgotten.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't even remember their names there. They will
Well, I
probably
can't.
come to us.
They were pointing out here. There's a Cyril Davies here, but that's not the chap that was in
No,
it.
his name's Cyril Davis. Just what I thought it was last week, but he would have been too old. to
Cess,
play.
Cess, that bloke was here last week. Cess Davis.
Was it Cecil Davis, this chap? I'm not sure it was Cyril.
Cecil?
Perhaps it was Cecil. They called him Cess. George Green was calling him Cess.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Because he was sitting here and I asked him, well, I didn't know he was at first,
Ah,
because
yes,
I couldn't
I-
recognise him from his playing
No.
days.
Apparently he
And
never.
he said Davis. I
I
said,
saw
not
a
Cyril.
photograph of him.
Not Cyril Davis. He said, yeah, that's right.
Ah, well, perhaps they call him
If we'd have
Cess.
Perhaps
thought,
call him,
if
yeah.
we'd have thought of it, Charlie Rebel, I expect to have known him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's-
No,
that's-
he was
I
in the-
vaguely remember him, but he didn't get a run in the first team at any time, I don't think.
No, he never. Well, Colin Cameron was telling me on Monday that he never really did anything as far as football goes. He just played a bit in wartime, but he never
No,
quite made the grade.
No, that's right.
Perhaps,
I remember him, I certainly remember
perhaps I'm
him.
getting confused even with this Cyril Davis there, because I can remember him playing Cyril Davis.
Yeah.
Do you remember all the names on the team here, Percy?
Well-
there's no one for some.
Too hard, that.
Danish players.
Purdy,
This would be about the period.
Woody.
Herod.
say 19.
Yeah.
but a bloke named
No, later
Smith
than
used to
that,
play with him.
probably
Oh, Wally,
1980s.
yeah. Plum.
1980s.
Well, I mean, as time goes
He
by,
was the
so
one I
quickly,
said,
Yes,
he
it's
was a bit
difficult.
bit of
That's
trouble.
right, yeah. It's difficult to put one.
I don't remember Steele or Thompson. I remember Carlson and Smith, but I don't remember, I can't. I suppose it must have known him, but I can't remember.
So they were numbered there, but the
Willing guy.
players weren't wearing numbers on the pitch, were they? Or were they? in
No,
those days?
not one time.
No,
they-
that's long before numbers.
long before numbers came up, like, you know.
But the goalkeeper would, as they kept a tobacconist shop in Church Lane when he packed up playing football. I remember seeing his shop, Woods.
There
They
was,
said he was the Charlton goalkeeper.
there was hairdresser in Church Lane. Well, actually it was two, but there was one down the bottom towards the station.
There
Yeah.
was one now opposite the...
That's right, where nearly all the Charlton players used to go.
That's right, Rowland's.
One time, last time, a long time ago when I went there, a good time ago, like, he was getting quite old then, the chap who ran it,
he's
like, you
patted
know.
up. I think it was
But he
Rowland's.
could have told you more about Charlton players.
Oh, I
than
used to,
most.
yes, he always said he used to have some type to tell about who'd been in and out.
Yeah, and yeah, oh yeah.
What they said, yeah.
That wouldn't be the same Smith there playing out on the wing, would it?
No. Herod played. You remember him, don't you? Do you remember Smith and Herod?
I remember
They got
Norman
Burton
Smith.
here, but I don't remember Burton.
I remember
Just think
Norman
about Burton.
Smith.
Just
But I mean, I was only 4 years old
Frank
then.
Burton.
He,
Well, that was-
he
so-
served and got several mentions and medals during the war. That's
He was-
Burton.
he was-
Did he?
Burton, yes.
Because he was 31 there.
Yeah, he was injured 6 times apparently.
And
Oh,
the old,
yeah.
there was an old chap I interviewed over the road there, and he said his nickname was Bronco.
Bronco.
Must have seen him.
And I remember Norman Smith quite dark, very dark, wavy hair, chap, short.
Norman Smith, oh I remember Norman
He
Smith.
was small,
Yes,
he
yes.
wanted about another foot.
Very small for a
Yeah,
back, really.
to a
isn't
back,
he?
yeah.
Do you remember Sammy Langford?
Yeah,
Yeah, Langford.
That's
I
right.
just remember him playing, you know. His name wasn't Sammy either, but they called him Sam for some reason or other. I don't know why.
Yeah, I always remember it was Sandy when you say Sandy.
Sam Langford, yeah.
They've had quite a lot of good. They had another Smith, didn't they? Who went as manager at Portsmouth, the old army sergeant.
Oh, was the army bloke? Yes.
What was his? He went to manager at Portsmouth for a long while. He was a very
George
good
Smith.
player. George Smith.
George
yeah.
Smith, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. He was a manager.
Done well as a manager.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
difficult.
good
You
player.
see so many players in a lifetime. It's difficult to relate the different ages. and
That's
periods,
right, and the
isn't it?
team who they played with, yeah.
I'll tell you what used to happen in the early days, John. If you went up by train up to London from anywhere in this area, on nearly every station was the placard of Charlton's next home game.
Oh yes, yes.
Advertising.
That's right. Yeah.
Nothing like that's done now.
No, they don't.
No.
No, that's right.
No.
Never mind. You wait. They come back to the valley.
Yeah, we'd have to-
I shall. Stress they want to take out the
Oh,
valley.
be digging up daisies.
Doing any? I saw someone describing the paper. What was it? In the local paper, I think last week. Some chap writes it in and he says, "We don't want any yuppie ground on Blackwall Lane," he said. Yuppie ground, Charlton is the valley, and that's where we want to be.
What about the
There's going to be
story?
another fight on about that.
What about the story when they packed up the valley, how they treated the groundsman?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
supposed to
I've
treat
seen
him
it
very
quite a lot.
badly.
Yeah,
weren't
it's
they?
supposed to treat him
Morris.
badly,
They
didn't
didn't
they?
pay him any money, did
Morris
they? They didn't
Bannon.
pay him off or anything.
He lives down there where I live.
Morris Bannon, is he?
Morris Bannon, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to him a few weeks ago, and
He was very bitter about that at the time.
I said to him, "Are you doing anything now, Morris?" He said, "Well," he said, "I've been over to Highbury." He said, "They asked me to go over there because their groundsman lost his nerve over an area in the middle of the pitch which he couldn't get right.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a lot of complaints about it. So he said they contacted me and asked me whether I would go over and put it right. He said, which I did do. He said, and actually he said it wasn't all that much wrong with it. He said, but I've got it right now. I mean, you've seen the Ivory Fish, there's nothing wrong with it because they got this under
So that's heated, isn't it?
heating underneath, you see, and he said, I didn't, just put it right, he says, and they offered me a job over there to help the groundsman. He said, but a journey through the tunnel and going over
Yeah,
North London, he said, didn't want it.
Oh, is he retiring?
Yeah, he's retired. He looks fairly young.
Yeah.
I suppose he must be 60.
Is his wife still alive? Because she
Yeah,
had a lot.
she's
She had a lot to say about it.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
she
right,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. She was very angry, wasn't she?
Yeah,
The way
yeah.
he- But then there was
But I
a,
wouldn't be surprised if they come back to the valley that they wouldn't ask him to go
no, but
over
there's a
there.
bit. He said it. They asked him about that, and he said, "Well, if they're going to do anything, they better do it soon." He said, because before the weeds start to seed.
Oh yeah.
And he said, if it's done fairly promptly, he said, he reckoned it would take 4 to 6 weeks to get that pitch fit for play. I can't believe it, 4 to 6 weeks, he said.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm only waiting, he said, it's up to the club. I'm waiting, if the club asked me, I asked him, would he go back? Would he, and he said, yeah, he would. He said, if the
He's
club asked
very
him to,
obliging
he
sort
would.
of chap.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think although they treated him, I don't think they treated him
No,
very fairly.
no,
did
apparently
they?
he loves the, it was his...
After all the years that he's done, and he had
Yeah.
offers from other clubs to
Yeah, to go.
He had an offer from the cricket club, Blackheath, I think, to get their ground ready, but he didn't. He was, busy at Charlton, so he refused.
I was talking to the chap the other day who used to, he's retired now, turf soils. Turf soils,
Oh,
in
yeah.
Charlton, aren't
Yeah.
they? And I said to him, you're going to do the valley ground? He comes up. He said, I don't know where the turf soils will, he said, but he said, I won't. He's retired.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
But
love
one end of that valley pitch used to almost be underwater. Because I remember
Yeah.
they had a fire injured there
Pumps
just
and that,
before a
pumped it out.
match.
Yeah,
That's
it.
right,
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah, the left-hand corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
if
the
you
covered,
take it
what
the
was the
right-hand
covered
corner
end?
looking
Yeah.
at the stand,
Yeah.
it was the right-hand corner.
What caused a lot of trouble was when they dug it up partly because of that motor track or something they put around it. Was it?
Yeah, midget car racing.
Yeah, they had that, didn't they?
They messed it up, didn't they?
Ruined the pits they did, ruined the corners of the pit.
Yeah. But besides the football, the fan, I used to be a bit of a dog fan. When they had the Charlton track
Oh,
there.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
He was going to Catford as well.
Well, years ago, 50, around about 1950, I was working at Grooms at Era Bakery, and there was 4 of us there, and we had a system, and we used to visit the dog tracks. Yeah, we had I'll tell you, this is true. We had a system that ran all right for 18 months. And I'll tell you what the system was. For the next 18 months, it never. But for the first 18 months, we were in clover. Matter of fact, my wife, because money was always scarce in these days, she used to say to me, "Ain't you going to the dogs today?" That's when I used to go, whether win or not, I came over and give her £1. And that was it. But what we used to do, there used to be the 4 of us, and we used to have a look follow the tracks and see where favourites had gone in. Now, if favourites they had gone in at Charlton and they hadn't gone in at Millwall, we'd go to Millwall. New Cross, you know, there. And this one, and then the 4 of us, we used to put what was it? There was 8 races. We used to put £2.8 in a kit before we started. Give it one chap, £2.8. That was what we were going to lose. Wasn't going to lose anymore. You know. Of course, £2.8 was quite a bit.
Yeah, that's
days,
right.
like, you know. And then we used to always back the favourite with 3 other dogs. It used to cost 6 shillings a race. Because it was a 2-bob total in the days. It used to cost 6 shillings a race, like, you know. That was where 6 8s and 48, that was the £2.8 that we used to put in the kitty on. And we used to have one chap in the queue to get on, another chap watching the tote, and another chap would do the running round to tell him what the favourite was, because the favourite would often change at the worst time. Yeah,
That's right.
it would fluctuate, and that was our system, and without a word of life for 18 months, we were in clover. For the next 18 months, you know, we never lost our £2.8, but we never made any money. We never lost our old stake, but we never made any money. And I hadn't been to the dogs now for years and years.
Okay. I think Georgie Green is quite an enthusiast on dog racing.
Is there dogs?
Georgie Green goes.
Georgie.
Because the chap, I was talking to a chap who lives down at Eastbourne now, and he said to me, "Oh, you want to ask George about the greyhound racing?" Because I didn't get a chance. I didn't want to start him up on
Well,
that.
we used to go to Walthamstow, we used to go to New Cross, we used to go to Charlton, we used to go to Stamford Bridge, and we even sometimes went to Crayford. But we always, if favourites had got in there the week before, we wouldn't go. We'd go somewhere else. There was 4 of us, and we used to do it. And it was quite all right. But £2.8, that was it. If we lost it, but I'll tell you, for 18 months we made money. But for the next 18 months, we never really made money, but we never lost all that money. And it wasn't a bad system, because you'll always get a couple of favourites going, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's very seldom you don't get 2 favourites going at the dog.
That's right.
How did you choose the other dogs that you put the money on?
Oh, well, we never used to do the second favourite. I should have told you this.
Yeah, because
There's a short forecast, so we never did the outsider.
Yeah.
We did it with the other 3 dogs, like, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how we used to work. But I haven't been, I forget the last time there. Because I always reckon the worst time anybody can ever have is being in the dogs, pouring down with rain and losing your money.
That's right. Very dejected.
Yeah.
You didn't have your fare home on the bus. Driving in the rain.
And I'd like going to a race course, you know. I've been at most race courses, but that's years ago, you know. I think when you stop, or you don't go, you don't, you know, it's like football. If you was to stop, you wouldn't, you know, worry about going.
No.
But anyway, I haven't had a bad life. I'm satisfied if I go tomorrow.
You ain't gone forever, you just a fiddle.
You're not always as well as you look.
Yeah.
Well, 2 years ago they told me I'd have to walk about with 2 sticks for the rest of my life.
Really?
Yeah, I'd still have 2 knees bandaged up.
Yeah.
Arthritis. I went in Brook Hospital, like you know, and I didn't go as an inpatient, I only went as an outpatient, and swine of a bloke in there, like, you know, he was a miserable old bugger. He told me that, you know, he said, when they took x-rays of it, like, you know, he said, because the first doctor I saw, he said to me, there might be a cyst behind your knee.
That's right, yeah.
See? But when they took the x-ray and I had to see the specialist, he said, no such thing. Who told you that? So I said, well, the doctor I come in and saw on Tuesday. Don't know what he was talking about. He said, one doctor about another, like, you know. He was son, he said, no matter with you, he said, what do you do now? 1 stick? I said, yeah, I'll have to have a stick. Oh no, he said, you'll have to have 2 for the rest of your life. That was what he was. Anyway, I got to embrocation. Some of that, I think what footballers used years ago, white oil, isn't it? White oil from boots. And I did that every day on both legs, like, you know. And I don't carry a stick in the morning. But I think I could walk without bandages, but I'm afraid.
Well, it's sensible to keep them on just nice and tight.
I'm just afraid to.
Yeah, I went to the hospital with my knee. The chap who done mine was a director. He was Charlton's doctor. And who was he now? What was his name?
Dr. Montgomery.
Montgomery.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I know. He was a director. No, this chap was not Montgomery. Who was the other fella there? He used to do all the.
Was it Hesketh or something like that?
He's consultant at Greenwood Hospital. I think he's retired recent years, but I mean, this was only a few years ago when I went up there, and I recognised him straight away.
Yeah,
I spoke to him about it.
But you're talking about, I can't remember his
I
name.
can't think of his name now.
Because he's the bloke that wouldn't do anything about my shoulder. I fell on my shoulder some years ago and put it all out. And he said, and I went to see him, what the hell was his name? I knew he was the child.
He done my brother, operated on my brother's shoulder. He had to have a plate put in.
Dr. Montgomery used to stop and get people lifts to the ground.
Did
He says you can come in
Yeah, they always said
and
to
I'll
me,
operate
Tom, he
and
was
put it back. He
Yeah,
said otherwise you
that's
can leave it and it will grow into its
the
new
old
position. And I
management
left
about
it.
it.
He
Used to
said
stop
you'll always
and
have a bump. And I've
the
got
first
the
one he
bump,
saw,
but
he
it
just
doesn't
put him in the
affect
car and drive him
anyway. You know,
I
it
don't
just grew into
think
its new
I
body.
think of his name.
What the hell was
How bad
his
is that?
name?
I just take a tablet one.
You're not-
Small tablet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
Montgomery
known.
was the
Yeah, the Montgomery,
doctor.
yeah.
I went in Greenwich Hospital.
Buck.
What was it?
Buck.
Buck.
That's right.
That's it.
Buck.
Buck.
Hernia.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
That's
wasn't
it,
hernia.
Buck.
I had
That's
two
it.
hernia years ago. What am I going for? Anyway,
It's all
when
in
I
here
went in,
somewhere,
they
isn't it?
said
That's
to
Montgomery.
me,
I remember when he got very upset one time, thinking his son got killed, got hit on you with a golf ball.
And
Oh.
Yeah,
I
his
went
son,
in.
and that really put him
Yeah.
back.
They examined me like they
Yeah.
do.
He was there, he was getting
I was in the
old,
day
he was
out,
hard,
they
so,
knocked it
yeah.
out and examined
Like, I
me.
think he was there, well,
Then
he
he
was
was
up,
he was
he
a
started,
surgeon, he
he
come
was
up to
up,
bed
yes,
one day
I
and
think so, yeah.
the next day and he said,
Practice, wasn't it?
Mr.
Montgomery,
Greenwood, he said,
where was he?
"Sorry,
Practice
Charles,
Charlton
we
somewhere.
found sugar."
Yeah.
Oh, I said, have you?
Yeah.
So he said, yeah. So he said,
Whatever happened to Ray
Not
Tracy?
Yeah, the Irish
said,
fella.
but we'd like you to go
He
in
was
for a week
good, I like, he was
come
very,
back.
very quick.
Yeah.
And he'd give me a diet.
Yeah.
He done well, he went
So,
to another club in
He
Charlton,
said, come
he
back
done
in
quite
a
well.
week's time.
Yeah,
He
it's
said,
got
you've
some
still
nice
got
goals,
sugar
Charles.
or not, we'll operate. But he said it's better for you, better for us to operate if you've got no sugar. So I went home, had this diet, went back and they operated. All right, I don't keep a strict diet. I eat a sweet now and again, I eat a chocolate now and again, I eat a cake now
Now,
and
this
again.
is a fact.
But I keep off sugar as much as I can.
Yeah.
It says here Swamp Valley. Charlton
But I wouldn't have
started
known.
the valley
I mean, if I'd had gone
1990.
into waterworks, then I would
After
have still
Bobby was
been-
in Rainbow,
I
yeah.
would never have known.
Had converted
Well,
it
it's
was
maybe
almost a
just
swamp into a
recognised quite
reasonable
early
plain
on.
here.
Yeah.
The pitch was
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
right on, it was to its present
Yeah.
position.
At least you had
I
birds
don't
and
know
Jack
that.
Insulin or
Oh, I wouldn't.
And old
Because they
Al-
were talking about turning around.
They were, but it never happened. I'm
People
sure
are
that's right.
diabetics, you know,
Yeah,
Sure, that's
that's
wrong.
it, isn't
But
it?
you're
I'm
talking about it because
surprised.
my father
That
said,
never mentioned
he
it.
said many years
It
ago,
never
they were
worries
talking
me.
about
I
they
saw
were
someone going to a
turn the
coma
pitch
once
round.
and they had
Yeah, I
someone
saw a fella,
essentially,
the postman.
You know,
missed his breakfast.
it's gonna be a
and he took his
smashing,
injections he
sort of
normally did because he had no
ground.
food in it. So
Yeah.
obviously they had insulin.
I think that's wrong.
He just went into a
I can't-
diabetic
Old
coma.
Army have
Well,
to
terrifying.
change the accommodation. That's
Three or four months ago, walking down the road.
No, they never changed them. I'm sure that
in
pitch
front
was.
of me was
No,
a
never
young
changed.
postman.
Mm.
And he
Scullion,
flopped.
that's another name from the
Oh, you know,
Sewell.
there was
Oh, sure,
quite a number
yeah.
of
Stuart
people, they
Scullion.
soon gathered
Sewell
round
went
at
to
night and
Crystal
called an
Palace and
ambulance,
remained
like, you know,
Mm.
and he wasn't very
That's
far
right,
evidently from
yeah.
where he lived, because somebody went
Len
round for his
Glover.
mother, like, you
What
know.
about him?
And they said,
What happened to
well,
Len
she
Glover?
said
He
he
went to
didn't know
Leicester,
the
didn't
breakfast,
he?
but he
Yeah.
bought chocolate.
What happened to Roy Matthews?
He'd been eating
He
chocolate.
was a good youngster, wasn't he?
Yes, you
Matthews?
could.
Anyway, he funny thing, he went over to the hospital and I see him come out about 4 hours
Yeah.
later and walking up the road
That's
like
right.
it's raining.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens suddenly.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't forget, not next
Not
week.
next week, no.
Yeah, that chap who was consultant that was talking about was named Buck.
But,
Buck. B-U-C-K.
yeah, I think I've got an idea now.
Is he still around?
He comes back to
He's only
me.
retired recent years. He went on until he was well over retirement age, and yeah, I don't know whether he's still alive now. I think he must be.
But Greenwich Hospital shut up now, is it? Not Green, not the big one, the Siemens one.
Siemens
Siemens.
one's closed.
That's
yeah.
closed up, isn't it?
That's the old Siemens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they-
I don't know what they're going to do with that building.
Well, you talk about that, what are they going to do with the Royal Albert?
Yeah, that's right.
It's been up there, I should think, God, 10, 12 years.
Yeah, 12 years, I think that's
And,
right.
and yet there's all these homeless people about,
Yeah,
like,
that's
you
right.
know, and if they couldn't convert some of
Yeah,
that
that's
into
right.
rooms for them, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it must be all the drainage, it must be
Yeah,
all
that's
the
right, yeah.
water, like, you know, surely the inside could be
Yeah.
converted.
Yeah.
And it's been empty now for 12 years.
Whereabouts is that?
Just out past the Brook Hospital.
And-
coming on up the street.
Actually, opposite where I live, really, that
Yeah, towards
end,
the police
you know,
station.
by the police station, yeah. Used to be a lovely hospital.
Yeah.
Nothing like, tell you, 1914 war, and back of it, and it, I was a school kid, I was 9 years old when the war started. And we used to go up there, and of course that hospital, well, matter of fact, it started off, we used to go down to Wellhall Station, and the streets used to be lined with old people up as far as the hospital, and there used to be a Red Cross train, you know, and wounded, used to come up, I suppose, from Dover and that. Used to come in these ambulances with a ring and a big red cross on,
Oh, yeah.
the old green type ambulances like.
Yeah.
And as kids, we used to go down there, and sometimes there were German prisoners, they'd show you a foreign coin, and they'd give it to the kids, like, you know. And one lucky kid, when I was down there one night, he got a bloody helmet with a
Oh, it's
pike on, like, you know. We thought that was wonderful, like, you know. But what I was going to say, we used to pass that hospital, and there's some big gates on the side. I don't know whether you've ever seen it. And these wounded, they used to have them blue overalls, blue uniforms, then they, at the time, everybody had this blue. And they used to say, here. And we used to go there. Can I slip up the pub and get us a pint? And we used to go up there, and they used to get the pint, come back, and a couple of coppers, like, you know. Don't know whether they're supposed to have the beer or not. Yeah, that's thing used to happen.
Yeah, there used to be a big military hospital, didn't it?
Oh yeah, yes it was.
Because
Yeah.
they built a new one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Elizabeth, they call it, don't they? Really
Oh, Queen Elizabeth on the common, isn't it?
helicopters here from Ireland.
Yeah.
Anyone injured in Ireland, they get flown over by.
Well, they used to do this at the Urban at one time,
Urban,
like,
that's right.
you know, before it was shut.
That's right.
And who was it? That MP, Heath.
Oh yes.
He was in there one day, like, you know, and he gave it away because he said, talking to him, like, you know, I'm glad to see you chaps from Ireland, which he never ought to have said, like, you know. Yeah.
It's good, that paper, isn't it, Archie?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
quite a lot of involved in that copy. I thought it was no point in
Yeah.
You brought it down, did you? You brought it down today?
Yeah.
Well,
I bought it last week and there was so much here on the
Yeah.
table I didn't have a chance to.
Now, when you want to talk that much, you ain't got time to read, have you?
Is that your copy?
No, I brought that down.
Yours?
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
no,
not.
I meant to bought that one.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Wasn't much in the local this week with, what's his name, who writes in the news shop.
Oh, Sutherland.
Yeah,
Steve
he's got a
Sutherland.
small column
Yeah.
every week. Yeah, like, you know,
No,
nothing
this-
in there much this week.
What was he talking
No,
about this
it's
week?
A bit about the game, you know,
Yeah.
that was going on. Mentioned about, you know, the move, what
Mm.
might be sort of thing.
Mm.
But, you know, nothing of interest really.
No, I can't see that one being satisfactory down the old gasworks because you can only approach it from one side of one area. You've got to come across the river otherwise. So who's going to come across the river to watch it? They've got no supporters outside, have they?
No.
No, they're all like, they're all West
I mean,
End.
you've got
That's
West
right,
Ham,
yeah.
the Orient, and further up you've got the Arsenal and
Tottenham.
over the other side. And
Yeah.
it's all the people, the spectators have got to come from one side, one area, and the only way you can approach it is down Blackwall Lane and Bugsby's Way. There's no other way of getting to it. There's no side turning.
No.
No, it'd be useless.
Actually, where is it? I'm a bit hazy about that.
Well, we go.
Tunnel Avenue, take me from there.
Well,
Blackwall Lane.
see, now Tunnel Avenue is confusing really because Tunnel Avenue comes from this area here,
Yeah.
like that, and Blackwall Lane crosses
That's
it.
right.
So people get confused, you see.
Yeah.
Well, to get to it, forget Tunnel Avenue, you don't turn left. I live on this corner, right around about there. So you
Tunnel
go.
Avenue, where
Yeah.
the fire station is.
No, I'm talking about further down. The junction of this crossroad, the fire station's up here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
So you come down Tunnel Avenue,
yeah.
and then you've got this road junction of where Blackwall Lane and Tunnel Avenue meet. see?
That's right, yeah.
So Tunnel Avenue takes you down to the Greenwich Borough Council yard and down towards the factory. It used to be the old what's the name factory? Dog biscuits and all that sort of stuff, didn't it?
Oh,
Anyway, you can forget that because you
that's
can't
right.
get out there. It's block turning.
Yeah.
There's only buses can get down there. And at least, so if you go down Blackwall Lane now, to get on the motorway you'd have to turn left. But if you carry straight down, and go right down by the river, well this is where it is down here, there's
Oh,
no
we're
other
down
way.
there?
Yeah.
Oh,
right
I
down
thought
by
it was more up
past,
this end.
past the old gasometers. It's
Oh.
not the Metro Gas Sports Ground, that's nothing to do with it. It's
Go.
where the gas works,
Yeah,
the
I've got it,
gasometers.
Yeah.
Is right down there.
Oh, no.
And now they built a new road here, Bugsby's Way, which is the only other way out.
Come back to the valley.
And there's another big thing about this ground, because the Metrogas said nobody can build on it because there's so much gas left in the ground, because it's all ashes and all that,
Yeah.
for that purpose, because it used to soak the old, they thought it was all water in them, you see, about 30, 40 feet of water. Well, actually the old gas sinks down, and they said there's still a hell of a lot of gas in a dangerous condition, which is in that ground. And before that's all got to be released, so it's a hell of
It's
a
a big
big
project.
Well, I'm going to tell you one more thing before I go.
Yeah.
Tunnel Avenue. I used to work when I was, I think about 16, I had about 6 or 7 months at the Delta Metalworks,
Oh,
you know, down the side
yeah, well,
there.
that's going off left down, yeah.
Right. I'm talking about when the old trams run down
That's
there.
right, yeah, 58 and 60.
Well, what used to happen, we used to come out of the factory, us lads, because they employed a lot of lads in them days, like, you know.
Yeah.
And we used to come out and we used to wait at the mouth of the tunnel,
Yeah,
and we used to wait the Fogan motors come along with the trailers and that,
Yeah.
hop on the back, instead of paying the fare down to Woolwich Road,
yeah.
we used to have a whip behind governor sort of
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
you know, on the back. Well, anyway, one day, 3 of us did this. Got on, halfway down Tunnel Avenue, it pulled inside the road and stopped. the two chaps who were with me, they must have known. They got off the roadside and did a bolt down there. I got off on the path side, right in the arm of two coppers. Yeah, they'd been waiting there. They reckon, because it came out that they'd lost so much pilfering off of the lorries and that there was, so that they were on. Anyway, I got notice, summons, go to court. So I thought, you know, you couldn't afford to have a day off to go to court. So I did nothing about it, like, you know. But in the end, I was fined 5 shillings, and I had to have a day off to take it to court. The 5 shillings. Yeah, 5 bob it was. God,
What was the charge?
Oh, I forget now, right on the back of the
It's right on the back.
like that. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that, yeah. Used to be a lot of that done in them days.
Yeah.
I used to go to school, used to like say that.
Whip behind governor.
Because that come from the old Austrian thing when the driver of the horse used to flip his whip behind.
Yeah.
And that's how they got that name, whip behind governor.
And even the trams, we used to jump on the side sometimes
Yeah, that's
on the
right,
step, especially if they're going up the
Have a
hill, they
ride,
went
yeah.
very slow, like you jump on if the conductor was up the stairs or at the front and have a ride up. Yeah, you get bloody killed these days, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, it's too much traffic now.
Well, I suppose we've got to make a move. Very nice.
I wonder what happened to Eric this morning then. That's the chap with the moustache.
Yeah.
Yes, I wonder
Yeah,
why.
He said he was going to come down.
Programs, didn't he?
Paid his money last week.
Oh, yeah, of course.